What would you recommend? Because I know you both are involved in with young adults, and you're very much mentors to people in your work area and also in the schools in your area. What would you recommend to students that maybe aren't sure where they should go or how they should get started? Do you have any words of wisdom that you would recommend to them for starting out and maybe exploring the electronics world?
Melissa, you want to?
Sure. So I have heard a lot of people in the past talk about, well, I started this and I didn't really like it, so I'm going to change and do something else. And so I feel like they start on a path and then change and then off on a different one and so on. So my advice would be totally different. Like it or don't like it, as long as you absolutely don't hate it, start in an engineering degree. Anyone, start taking general classes. And most of the general or first, and second year curriculum are really applicable to any of the different engineering fields. So start taking some classes. You'll gain a little bit of exposure to maybe which particular discipline you might be interested in, but really and truly get the degree in whichever type of engineering you get your degree in isn't necessarily a stamp on what you're going to do the rest of your life. Because you can graduate. I have people that work for me that graduated in one form of engineering and work in something totally different, or don't even work in engineering, but work in sales. I think an engineering degree grants you such an opportunity, and really, I'm going to say also, and maybe I shouldn't, but an amount of respect. I mean, you walk in the room and people, especially females, and people are like, oh, wow, you must be really smart, and meanwhile you're thinking, okay, not really, but thank you. And so my advice is really just get that degree and then let your job later determine what you're going to do in life, because you may not want to work in engineering at all. You may want to work in a different, you might go to work in industrial, in a factory and decide, okay, the job that you liked was in HR or was in whatever. But once you're in that door and you've already got the starting salary that goes with an engineer's starting salary, which is in general higher than most other majors, you can move to whatever area you like. So just don't feel like you are stuck in that, in whatever you're doing and whatever classes you're taking in school doesn't define what you're going to do for your life. So that's one. I have a whole list, so I don't know how many, if you want
Keep going.
one at a time. Okay. So I would also say in my particular field in wire harnesses, don't underestimate the value of being bilingual or multilingual or even somewhat bilingual. So, for me, having planted Mexico, I know some Spanish. I'm far from perfectly bilingual, but my Spanish has helped me tremendously. And I learned that in school. I had some Italian from my family history, but I never had, we didn't have Italian class at school, so I learned Spanish. And I think that's been, that's been great. But the people who work for me that are very bilingual, more so, way more than me, they have the top positions. They are the people that are going places and right, wrong, or indifferent, their ability to speak good English and good Spanish grants them those opportunities. Okay, so work ethic. I think a lot of older days, people really worked hard. I find that today, and I'm going to say kids, maybe not kids, people coming out of school, and I see a little bit of a different mentality. Some people have that, some people don't. So most engineering positions are salaried positions. So I don't want people who are working for me looking at the clock saying, oh, it's exactly 5 o'clock, I'm out of here. Because I will expect from my people that when I have a project that that needs done, please work on it for me. We're a great company. My managers are great managers. Get the job done. That you will be rewarded tremendously. You'll get time off. You will get to leave early when we're not busy. Nobody hassles you about where you are, what you're doing most of the time. But when you have a job to do, don't focus on clock watching. So those are some of the items. The other ones are keep in mind that companies, when they hire you, they spend a lot of money, thousands of dollars to train you. So try to make it work for at least a while. When I look at resumes, if I see that a person has switched jobs every 6 months, I won't even consider hiring them, because it costs me so much money to train someone, and they're of lesser value the first year or 2 years until they're really trained, where they can go out and be so impactful and have that knowledge and experience. But to get them to that point takes a lot. So again, I don't want to take the chance of hiring somebody who's just going to quit because down the road someone else is gonna offer them $1,000 more. Which brings me to my next point: is salary's big, but benefits and opportunity for advancement are even bigger. What is your opportunity to work with the decision makers? What is your, there's so many things to consider when you're taking a job. Don't let salary be the only category that you consider. Take the opportunity to enhance your education, especially if your company is going to provide you with opportunity for schooling, or to match, half and half, or just to pay it if you work in a certain field. I took advantage of that opportunity. My master's degree was entirely paid for by General Motors, and I probably honestly wouldn't have done it without that, but I continued to work there, and hopefully they found that they got all the payback in helping me with that degree. And I think the biggest thing is drive and desire. As people going into a workplace, I don't care if you are the smartest person. I don't care if you're the most qualified, have the most experience, any of that. If you are trainable, if I look at you and I see that you have the drive and desire, we will work with you. We will train you. We will help you. We will give you skills that you maybe aren't going to stay with at our company forever, but we'll give you marketable skills that at some point are going to be incredibly beneficial to you. So just show that drive and desire and that hard work ethic, and you will get so far in life, and it's and you will be rewarded. So there's my spiel, and sorry it was long.
No, it's excellent information. Thank you very, very much. Yes, that's
pleasure.
Wonderful. Allison, what are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts. I would say the biggest thing for me is to not underestimate the value of networking. There is still a little bit of who that will help you in your early career. So that is definitely my advice, to meet people, go to the happy hour after work, go to trade shows, just really spend time getting to know people in the industry and your coworkers, because that's going to make a really big difference. And find a mentor, but also find an advocate and know the difference. Right? A mentor is someone that's going to help you with your educational and career goals. An advocate is a person that's sitting in the room that's going to say, oh, I know that Wendy would be really great on that project. Why don't we let her handle that? So a little bit different, right? And a male ally can be very helpful too. Maybe that is your advocate. So those are, and don't stop on the professional development, not just as far as technical education goes, but your soft skills too, your leadership skills. I've been in a leadership position for a long time, but I still take every opportunity to brush up on my leadership skills and take emotional intelligence classes. And even if it's just a webinar or a day seminar or something like that, that the more you keep those skills front and center, the better.